Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the What Would You Make challenge. I love this challenge. I love working with wood. It's one of my favorite things to do. But before we get on to the video, I just want to welcome you. If you're new here, my name is Brenda and this is my sweet Oliver who's trying to get out of working today. And if you're returning, well, you guys are amazing. So with all that being said, let's continue now. Let's get on with the video. No, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I took this, I don't know if it's a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 wood piece from Dollar Tree. I just found them there. They're really thin, but hey, it works. I'm going to go over it with my Waverly Antique Wax. I just brush it on and then take a paper towel and wipe off the excess. And once I have that done, I do both the front and the back, by the way. After that, I am going to take another little sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to fill the holes in with my spackling there so that they're covered up because we're not going to need those hanging holes. Then I'm just going to wipe everything off and paint it. I'm going to paint the inside of this sign with my, no, I paint the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory. Once it was done, I covered the whole inside of it with Mod Podge, just like you see me doing right there. I set it aside to let it dry, and then I took this napkin that I got this year from Hobby Lobby. I just thought was beautiful. I'm going to cut this part out, and then I'm going to use my double-sided tape here to remove the two plies that are behind it, and I was so afraid of ripping that napkin, so I had to take it off my finger there. I'm going to remove the rest of that ply, and then I'm going to lay it down on my sign because the Mod Podge was dry. I'm going to take some parchment paper here. I'm going to go over that napkin with my heat press. The parchment paper protects the napkin, and the heat press reactivates that Mod Podge so that we have a nice, clean, wrinkle-free image. Once I was done, I am going to put Mod Podge. Now I put it on my brush and brush it over the napkin. That way it eliminates it from bubbling up. And then I let it dry. Once I let it dry, I took my X-Acto knife here and I'm just cutting slits where those slits are on the sign. Then I decided to go ahead and take my braided jute ribbon that I absolutely love and glued all around the inside of my sign. I then took some of these leaves. I've got these 3 years ago from Amazon. There's like 500 in a box and I'm still working on them. And pretty good deal. I mean, if it's lasting this long. Anyways, I just added some to the top, what is that, right, left corner? I don't know. And then the opposite corner on the bottom. I'm taking my wood glue here. I'm adding it to the back of my sign along with my hot glue. And then I'm going to add this little sign right into the middle of the big sign. Super easy, but I just love how this came out. It is so pretty. I'm going to make I think it's a 4-loop finger bow, and I'm just going to wrap my fingers with my twine, just like you see me doing. I'm going to take the end of that twine, and I'm going to go down over those pieces that are between my finger, go through them and up, and then go through that little loop that I just made and then pull real tightly. I hope that makes sense. I never know how to explain that. It's so hard. Anyways, I'm just going to glue that on to the top of my little sign there. And then I'm just going to take some tape. I'm going to put it along the end of my twine and thread that through the hanger holes. And then I'm just going to make a little hanger. I'm just going to tie knots on the end and make it the length I want. And that's all there is for this one. It is super easy, but I just think it came out very pretty. I don't know why I showed you all of this. But look at there. Oh, I love this. I think it's gorgeous. But anyways, you have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, today is the What Would You Make challenge, and I host this on the 4th Sunday of every month with my friend Christine with Divine Designs. And of course, you guessed it, all of our projects have wood in it. And this month's guest host is the amazing Brandy with the DIY Struggle. If you don't know who she is, which I highly doubt, she is really great and she does a lot of decoupaging herself, which I love. But make sure you check out her channel and show her some love, as well as Christine and the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in the description box below. Okay, DIY number 2. So I'm going to take 2 of these they're like pumpkin. They kind of look like pumpkin, but they're jars from Dollar Tree. I love these. If you see them, pick them up because they go fast. I'm going to clean everything off with some alcohol. And then I'm going to take them all out to my shed and I'm going to spray paint them. No, I'm not. I'm going to add some Fix-All glue and hot glue to the top of these little candle sticks. Now, these came from Dollar Tree last Christmas, and I'm just going to add these together. Now, if you don't have those, you could always use the glass candlesticks. You could use any kind of candlesticks or riser part that you have. Then I took them outside and painted them with my Rust-Oleum flat white spray paint. While they were drying, actually, I'm going to take these two little crates and I'm going to use my wood glue and a little bit of hot glue to glue them together end by end. Now, I have seen people take the ends off before and glue them together, but yeah, I figured that's too much work. So why do that when you can just glue them together like this? And then I'm just going to go over the whole thing inside and out with my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm just going to brush it on, wipe off the excess. And then, yeah, I even do the outside, the bottom, everything. Got to make it uniform, right? I normally when I do make things like this, I don't do the bottom inside because it's going to be covered, but I did anyways. So then the next day, once those were dry, completely dry, I was just going to kind of lightly distress with my antique wax, but then I decided, you know what? I don't really like the way this is looking. So I decided to go with a heavy coat of my antique wax all over it. And it makes it have that wood look, which is perfect because this is the What Would You Make challenge, right? And I know these aren't wood, but we'll get, we've got some wood in this project. But I did let that set overnight and then added a second coat to make it a little darker. So then the next day I took this pool noodle and I am just going to cut it so that it fits right inside of both of my little pumpkin jars. I'm going to use some hot glue, and be careful when you're doing this because it does melt your pool noodle, so you don't want to put too much. But I'm going to add some moss all along the top. And of course, ask me how I know about the melting. And then I just put that pool noodle back in. I have these candles. I got these from Amazon. They have timers in them. So once you turn them on, they'll stay on for 6 hours and then turn off and come back on after 18 hours, which I love. But I took some of these little sunflowers from a pick from Dollar Tree. I added them into the pool noodle there. And then I'm going to take some rope and I'm just going to, or not rope, some twine. I'm going to wrap it around the edge there. And then I'm just going to make little bows. Sorry, this isn't in frame. It's kind of hard when these things are so tall. Then I took some dowel caps and I got these from Hobby Lobby. I went over them with my antique wax. And then I'm going to take my Titebond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue and I'm going to attach my little dowel caps to the bottom for feet. I just think it gives it an extra bit of elegance when you raise it. So I took some floral foam here in this little cutter I got from Dollar Tree and I just kind of measured it, had it on top and so I could see where to cut it. And then I took this and I just went along the top edge. And of course you can't go all the way through because of that little handle. So I just turned it around and voila, it was perfect. So I did one for each of those little crates. And then here I'm just kind of using my, you'll see it in a moment, my Cricut spatula. And I am going around the bottom I was just going to leave these on top of the floral foam, but it just was too wiggly and I didn't want them to fall over and break. So I decided to make a hole. So I just went around it with my Cricut spatula and then I'm just going to go here and finish digging through it and see how it's kind of slanted on the inside. I had to scrape that all out as you're seeing right there because I wanted the candlesticks to fit right inside and sit inside of that little crate. That way it was a little more sturdy and I wouldn't have to worry about it falling over as well. So once I did that on both sides, I had got some picks from Hobby Lobby. I actually had to go get more floral foam and of course I ended up buying some picks to add to this instead of digging through all the stuff that I have. Anyway, so I'm just going to add some leaves and then I'm not sure what they call these. I think I want to call them like wheat, but I know Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree would call them hot bushes. So I don't know. But anyways, they had these cool little corn picks, and I thought, oh, this would be perfect because this is a Thanksgiving theme. I had so many people ask me last year, and it was like right at the end of my fall, why doesn't anyone do Thanksgiving themed? And I thought, what a great idea. I never really thought about it, because for me, fall and Thanksgiving are just kind of all the same, but I think this is a little more towards your Thanksgiving. So I thought adding some little corns to the picks would be great, or corn picks to my arrangement would be great. And then these little fall ball thingies. I don't know what you call those. But anyways, I just went around, and then I'm going to add some little pumpkins and gourds and some pine cones. And I absolutely love how this came out. I just think it is so beautiful. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put this because I don't know, but I love it. And I definitely want to put it somewhere. But yeah, there it is. I love how this came out. You have to let me know what you think about this as well. And this would be great on your Thanksgiving dinner table. Okay, guys, I always like to stop in here and just say thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are awesome, and I just love you so very much that I always want to take a moment to make sure that you understand how much you mean to me. And if you are new here and you enjoy today's video, and if you enjoy home decor on a budget, then hit that red subscribe button before you go. Become part of our YouTube family. I would love it, and I'd love to get to know you as well. So I hope you are enjoying the video, and I hope you enjoy this playlist. Make sure you check them all out, and I know you won't be disappointed. So with all that being said, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So I'm going to take a 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint both the front and the back with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. I'm then going to take this wood turkey from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go over it with my antique wax, and I'm going to do the same thing, just brush it all on and wipe it off. Now, if you don't have the 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby, you could use the 12-inch wood rounds at Dollar Tree. It just didn't look as good because it pretty much filled it the whole thing up. But anyways, but you could still make it work. So I'm going to do this. I'm only going to do this on the front, and then of course the sides, because we don't want this raw edges on the sides to show. Anyways, I can't believe I'm showing you all of this. I didn't realize I was showing you. This is probably when I was trying not to fall asleep, you guys. I don't know what it is about editing, but if I don't drink coffee right before I start editing, I start falling asleep every single time. And this is probably when I was doing that. Anyways, I'm going to take my wood glue and hot glue. I'm going to go all along the back of this, and I'm going to attach it to the front of my sign. And then after that, I'm going to take this Give Thanks. This comes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it with my plaster. And then I am just going to use my Tight Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Purpose Glue, because it is quick and it is thick. That's why I'm using both hands to squeeze the bottle. And I'm going to glue it right onto the front of my turkey. I wanted to just keep this kind of simple. And I decided to distress the edge of my wood round, but I wasn't liking the way the distressing looked. So I started, instead of going up and down on the edge, I just kind of started taking my brush and wiping it side to side like you see. And I don't know, it gave it a little more of a rustic look. I don't know what I was doing, honestly. I was just like kind of winging it, going, okay, let's see if this looks good. I don't know. Anyways, I took some ribbon here. I cut a piece. I didn't measure it, but I glued it end to end. I took another piece, and I'm going to make my regular awareness ribbon bow, where I make the awareness ribbon sign, scrunch it up in the middle. And then I'm going to take that other piece and put it in the back of it and take some twine and tie the two together. That way we have like a 4-loop bow. I was trying to do the Kathy Jo bow, and I just could not get it for the life of me. The first time I ever tried it, it was perfect. Now I'm just like, I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to keep practicing. I glued that on to the top of my turkey so it would hide that hanger hole. I made a hole for the hanger on my wood round, and I took some twine. I folded it in half. I'm pulling the folded part through the hole. I tied knots on the end, and I'm taking the folded part and running it through the knotted part. I really hope that makes sense. And tightened up. And then I'm going to string some beads through that folded apart, and it did take a little bit because, it does make it thicker. But I got it to go through. There was a few times where I had to use my needle nose pliers to kind of grab them and pull the twine through. You'll see that here. But be careful that you don't pull your twine apart when you do that. But I just kept adding those beads that I got from Amazon. They're fall colors. I love them. They even have some little leaves on them, but I just thought these colors went great with that bow, and it just gives a little bit of pop of color, but nothing drastic. And then I just made a knot on the top of that so that we have a little hanger part, and there it is. I love it. It's simple, but yet I think it says Thanksgiving. What do you think? You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations, and we have Corrine. I love this. I love your latte cup. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Corrine. And then Vashi, she is from South Africa, and this is an ostrich egg that she painted. It's beautiful. And Linda, she made this lovely centerpiece as well. Thank you so much, ladies, or both of them. I appreciate it so very much. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 4. So I'm going to take this bamboo cutting board from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it with my ivory. I almost left it that color. I kind of went back and forth, but I ended up in the end deciding to paint it with my ivory. Then once it was dry, I took my Mod Podge, and I am going to go over the whole front with my Mod Podge there. Had to dig something out. Oh my goodness. Anyways, once I had the Mod Podge all on there, I let it dry. Then I took this piece of rice paper image that Kathy Jo sent me. She got this from decoupagenapkin.com. I thought it was so cute. I added some water to my brush and went over the edges and then ripped it, so it just gives it a little more of a natural look, so it's not so stark straight edges. I hope that makes sense. Am I making sense today, you guys? I hope so, because I feel like I'm not. Anyways, I put my parchment paper on top, went over it with my heat press, and then added some more Mod Podge to help protect that rice paper. Look how cute that little turkey is. He's so cute. Anyways, once I was done, I kept thinking, what am I going to do with this? So I had run to, when I went to Hobby Lobby to get my floral foam, I saw a sign and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. So I took one of these little wood cutout or plaques from Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby. I painted it with my ivory. I wrote "Eat Ham" on it. And then I took, I think this is espresso from Distressed Oxide ink. And at first it looked kind of reddish and I'm like, oh, I like this. But then as it dried, it got more grayish brown. And I'm like, wait, that's not the color I wanted. And then I was kind of getting a little too heavy-handed with my stamping there. And like, well, let's just kind of brush this around and see if it gives it a more rustic look. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like that. So like, okay, what can I do to fix it? So I grabbed my baby wipe here and I just started smearing it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, that's looking good. But as it dried, see how it kind of looks orange? And then as it dries, it turns gray. And I'm like, I don't like that. That's not the color I was going for, because the colors in that picture, there were some orangey colors, rusty kind of colors. So I thought, okay, so I grabbed, this is the one I originally wanted to use. I think it's Vintage Photo. And I just took a little finger dauber and I just went around the edge of it, and that kind of helped bring out some of the reddish tones, orangish tones, whatever you want to say, all around the edge. And I liked it a little bit better, but I was still like, is this gonna work? I mean, anyway, so, oh, no, I take that back. What was the other one? This is the right one. I don't remember what that other color was. It wasn't working either. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to take hot glue. I'm going to glue that to the top corner of my sign. And then I took this little skewer, I painted it, and I'm going to glue it right below it, so it looks like the turkey's holding an Eat Ham sign. I thought that was so cute. I took 3 tumbling tower blocks together. I glued them together with hot glue. And then I'm going to use my Type Bond glue and hot glue to glue it to the back for a stand. I do end up painting that with my I think I did. I think I painted it. I got to check with my ivory paint so it would match. And there it is. I think it is so adorable. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, final DIY, DIY number 5. So I took 2 of those wood hanging plaques from Dollar Tree and I cut them down. They're about 12.5 inches. And I'm going to glue them together. I'm going to attach them together using these jumbo craft sticks from Walmart, and then I just add hot or wood glue in the middle and some hot glue on both ends. And the reason why I do it this way, because when I painted it before, if I just had wood glue on one side and hot glue on the other, the ends that had the wood glue would curl up. It wouldn't, because it wasn't completely set. So that's why I started doing it that way. Anyways, I took some of these little bamboo sticks from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store if you're interested, and I'm cutting them at an angle. I cut them all down to fit around my little picture to make a frame, and then painted them with my hazelnut paint by Waverly. Then I'm just going to use my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to glue them all in place. I love using this glue because you can move them around because it takes a couple minutes for it to completely set. So in between you can kind of move them to make sure you have them all in the right place. And then once I had them on, I did use my little clamps there to hold them for a few minutes. I took my Cricut and I created some stencils, and I'm going over this with my Deco Art Burnt Orange. Now, I am recreating a sign I saw at Walmart. It was almost $9. It was beautiful because the thankful and the leaves were embroidered. So I like this, but it's just not the same. But anyways, I think my thankful is a little crooked too. Anyways, I am just going over the leaves. After I went over them with the burnt orange, I took my yellow and I'm just kind of mixing it in with the paint there. But I didn't like that. It wasn't what I was looking for. So instead, I took some of that yellow and I'm just dabbing it on and kind of smearing it that way. And then it the other way it was smeared in too much. This way you could kind of tell the difference. Anyways, then I'm just going to add a hanger, and there it is. I think it's very cute. I do like it. I think the thankful is a little crooked. It keeps giving me that crooked vibe. But anyways, you have to let me know what you think about that as well. Here is your final reveal. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And make sure you check out the playlist and Brandy's channel and Christine's channel as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you give everyone that thumbs up and comment. That always is appreciative and helpful. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that before you go. And I will be back again on Thursday. You guys, Christmas is coming up. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I'm getting excited. So with all of that being said, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.